Okay, now we will start today's webinar. Nice to meet you. My name is Junyoung-chae. I'm the director of Big Data Research Committee, Korea Planning Association, and also working at the Seoul Institute. Today's topic is AI governance and responsible AI for smart cities. Lessons from Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. Today's seminar, we will invite Saudi Arabia's Director of AI Center, ICAIRE. Today's webinar is about 60 minutes. Before starting the webinar, I briefly introduce today's participant. The keynote speech by the Dr. Majid AlShehry. He is currently working at the ICAIRE. ICAIRE is the AI research center, and the center is a UNESCO Category 2 center. And he is also former research director and the spokesperson of Saudi Arabia Data and AI Agency. And from the Korean Planning Association, our president, Kwon-il, is also attending designated panel discussion by Yong-Sok-kwon. He is from the Gyeongbuk Institute. Before presentation, we will hear from our president, Kwon-il.
Hello, nice to meet you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. I am Il-kwon, president of the KPA. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the fifth Big Data Research Committee webinar. First, I would like to give my sincerest thank you to Dr. Majid AlShehry, director of the International Center for AI Research and Ethics, for accepting our invitation and sharing his valuable insight with us today. I would like to thank you to Dr. Junyoung-chae, the chair of the Big Data Research Committee, for preparing this webinar, and Yong-Sok-kwon for joining us as a discussant. Finally, I warmly welcome all our members and everyone joining us online. Today, AI is changing the way we plan, build, and manage our cities. As AI becomes more important in our planning and smart cities, we also need to think about how to use it in a responsible and true-worth way. Today, we will learn about Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, its AI governance, and its experience in building smart cities. I believe this will give us many useful ideas for the future of urban planning in Korea. The KPA will continue to support research, discussion, and international cooperation so that AI and big data can help create better and more sustainable cities. Once again, thank you to everyone who made today's webinar possible. I hope you enjoy the presentation and have a productive discussion. Thank you very much.
Now, hear from the Dr. Majid AlShehry for today's presentation.
So, good afternoon, my colleagues, friends from South Korea. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today to present a great topic for all of us, which is the AI governance, and share and exchange information about what's happening from a different part from this world that share with you the same interest on AI governance. And specifically today, we'll talk about AI governance in general, but we will be a deep dive into the AI governance for smart cities and how we can definitely have a common future together. So as an introduction, I have known some of my colleagues here, Dr. John Young and Dr. Quinn on various opportunities. And it was really a pleasure to connect with you today to continue that discussion on something very important, which is where the Saudi vision is today. But prior to that, let me share with you how it started as a vision, and then how the AI came into this vision, and then how the ICAIRE was established as part of the initiatives of Saudi vision. So in Saudi Arabia, the country has went through a major transformation. It was a complete transformation for the whole government, from economical side, from exchange of knowledge, from education, from all the aspects that matters to us, including smart cities. We have been working on many initiatives. We have hosted a global AI summit event 3 times in the last 6 years. And on that, we had hosted many guests from Korea, from Asia, and from the rest of the world, talking about the future of AI. And definitely AI governance, AI ethics was always part of the equation. GAIN, or the Global AI Summit, had 3 themes: where AI today, which is now; where AI will be in the future, which is next; and then, which is most important part, where AI should stop from, and that's the never part. That's why GAIN has 3 N's in its logo: now, next, and never. So on the never side, it always promoting the idea of governing AI and having AI ethics embedded everywhere. That's applicable to AI development tools in LLM. It's applicable to AI tools in smart cities like cameras and CCTVs. It's applicable to productivity applications of AI. And also it's applicable to the governance part that has to be part of all the AI lifecycle. ICAIRE was established as a joint effort between the Saudi government and the UNESCO. It's an international center, though it's being hosted in Saudi Arabia, and I am a Saudi citizen, proudly, but this is not for Saudi Arabia only. It's for Saudi Arabia, for GCC, for the Arab states, for Korea, for Asia, for Africa, for every part of the world. We are sharing one common vision, which is being a lighthouse for AI ethics globally. And UNESCO is definitely part of this great vision, and this is meeting their mandate. That's why the Saudi government and the UNESCO has jointly signed an agreement to establish ICAIRE, which stands for the International Center for AI Research and Ethics. It's a Category 2 center of UNESCO, hosted in Saudi Arabia. And today, it's the first center worldwide dedicated on AI research and ethics globally within UNESCO and beyond it. And as you can see from the picture, this has been taken for the team who was responsible for initiating the idea within the UNESCO. And probably our friends from Korea who have been in Saudi Arabia recognize this gentleman, who is Dr. Abdullah Sharaf. His Excellency is the president of SDAIA, which is equivalent to the Minister of AI and Data in Saudi Arabia. Now, AI is very important to focus on the humanity part. And this is where we definitely want all of our work to be focused on. As I mentioned, ICAIRE stands for International Center for AI Ethics, Research and Ethics. Our vision is to be an international lighthouse for AI, empowering all nations to advance ethical AI for the good of humanity is what we are working on. And we have 4 pillars on that particular part. So we are working with research institutes from all over the world, and if someone from the attendees is working on one of these R&D centers, I'll be more than happy to collaborate with you on R&D activities focusing on, in general, UN SDGs and all the key ethical AI questions that need to be answered and addressed today. And I believe there are many big questions on smart cities we don't have answers for, whether it's in Seoul or Riyadh or Neom or any part of the world. The second pillar is AI ethics awareness outreach. What we are doing today is part of that pillar. We want to outreach to the rest of the world and make sure that we work together, not leaving someone behind. And it's proven that working together is always helpful for both parties, especially if we have common goals and we are working in a dynamic way. Our third pillar is to promote and support AI capability and capacity on AI ethics. And this is very important to maintain the right people to work on the future projects, on the right life cycle. And then comes the AI policy recommendation and development. It's always important at some point to have guidelines, to have policies, to have laws that help us to use AI in the proper way. And this could be generally applicable to AI, could be specifically applied to certain areas, including smart cities, where you need to have policies for the usage and for the protection of people, humans, individuals, and even companies when dealing with data, personal data, commercial data, patenting, and more and more. So here I'm listing some of the work that we are doing on the AI research. We have applied for a research call, and this is on certain topics. And we have engaged with more than 60 researchers as of today. We are open to engage with 10 or 20 more, specifically from South Korea. That will be always a pleasure for us to work jointly with those researchers and to answer and address big questions, hard questions, and challenges that will probably, in this case, help us to build safe and protected cities and always bring the quality of life to the equation. Also, we have launched an online expert platform to have a dialogue continuous with everyone, where we share the technology radar on AI, where AI is heading to. Also, we share the news about AI, specifically AI ethics, and we publish our research and activities. On the awareness sessions, we have done few workshops on sustainability, where AI can be playing a major role on sustainability and help out to address big challenges by streamlining the work and the processes using AI. Also, we are going to continue working on AI ethics workshops. We have our own tools that we can share with the rest of the entities, how to use them and when to use them. On capability building, we have launched a program, an international program to empower women on AI. So far, we have trained over 6,000 women in public servants and across 90 countries, including South Korea. Women from South Korea have joined this program, and they have been already certified in Microsoft AI 900 in one of the cohorts. This was really fundamental to bring the empowerment to women in the field of AI, because yes, everyone needs to be empowered, but we always need to have a balanced quota between genders, between nationalities, between areas, and between ages as well. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We have pledged also to train 25,000 women by 2030 on AI fundamentals. Today, we are working on the next cohort where we are partnering with IBM company to kick off a new program within the Elevate initiative. Also, we have launched an AI glossary challenge. The challenge is to enhance the usage of the AI glossary that we have published. And by the way, our data and AI glossary is publicly available online in our website. Today, we are supporting 3 languages, Arabic, English, French. We are going to cover the 6 languages by UNESCO, which are Espanol, Russian, and Chinese, in addition to the other 3 languages we already started. And we would love to have a partnership with a Korean institute or university to start working on the translation for the AI glossary into Korean language. And of course, we need your support into this to achieve our goal immediately and bring the Korean language to our glossary. By the way, this glossary is available online free of charge to everyone. Now, the Journey of Women Elevate program has started 3 years ago. In the first cohort, we started with 25 countries. The target was 1,000 female students. 6,000 females have registered, but 1,000 have graduated. And we had 38% of females were from global audience, while 62% were from Saudi. As you can see in the second cohort, we have increased the number of countries, increased the number of female students, 5,000 have graduated. And also we have increased the percentage of international female students. It's almost half international and half Saudis. Hopefully for the next cohort, with your help, course covering for Korean females to outreach to them, we are going to cover more than 70% by international female students. This is the timeline of our journey on Elevate program in the last couple of years. Now, on the AI policy recommendation, we have been working with UNESCO to implement a readiness assessment methodology by UNESCO on AI for countries and member states. What we have done, we worked with Saudi Arabia government to support them in implementing the RAM. Also, we have worked with the UNESCO to enable the RAM implementation, to translate it as well into Arabic language and hopefully into other languages as well. And today the RAM has almost 70 member state countries have participated, and those countries are reporting the current status of AI into their country. So this is in terms of where each country stands into the recommendations. So if we want to focus on smart cities and where smart cities still fall short, whether in Saudi Arabia, whether in Korea, Europe, United States, South America, we believe there is a gap between the governance body, the governance development, and the technology deployment, which is very fast, moving very quickly. And this is the part that brings investments. And this is the part where governments would like to adopt very quickly. They want to speed up the process, while the maturity of the governance is not there yet. Yeah, there are some schools that would like to have governance come first, but that might delay the innovation. There are some schools that want to avoid the governance, but that definitely will damage the environments and the culture behind these smart cities. So we believe that there has to be something in between. A pre-deployment AI readiness assessment is a recommendation. It's a solution. However, this has to be growing very fast as the technology is growing. So we don't need the assessment to be lagging behind the technology enhancements. There has to be all together, moving together, working together, and serving each other and learning from each other. There has to be a continuous feedback and looping between the two. The second gap comes to the citizen participation. That is often symbolic, and it varies from a nation to a nation, from a city to a city, and from a country to a country. However, overall, we believe citizens are the best to participate on the governance of smart cities in a structured way that ensure the civic engagement mechanisms are already set up and their voices outreach to the decision makers, especially from the government and even from companies. And that discussion must take place frequently, pre, post, and within the programs without stopping the innovation. And that's very important balance. So in both gaps, we believe that AI governance has to take place. However, the balance should be there and should not be neglected. We think that there are two different words between smart cities focus, a center such as ICAIRE focus, where in smart cities we have engineers, urban engineers, we have smart city experts, we have technology experts, we have different priorities where we are interfacing with citizens in everything we do. We have huge investments when it comes to CapEx projects and also OpEx projects. On ICAIRE, as I mentioned in the beginning, we focus on AI ethics. We are a UNESCO global network representing the AI ethics definitely part. And we have our own research priorities and methodology. However, we believe in this overlap section on AI governance for smart cities, there is a lot of activities that we can do together through awareness, for workshops, through joint research, and through initiatives that we can publish together to make sure that we are building smart cities that are governed and also meeting the expectations of the people living, working, studying in these smart cities without forgetting the privacy issues or what technologies might bring from issues related to these activities. And if I would focus on areas that I believe are very concrete tracks where we can build together and working on together, we can definitely work on dedicated research call on smart cities and AI ethics, inviting a collaboration. And I'm not sure if we have anyone from the Seoul Institute or Jeon Park Development Institute. We know they have interests. But definitely there might be other institutes and universities at Korea who are interested in this kind of research. So we are open to a joint research on that particular part. Also, we might, as we are building now the Elevate program, have a specific track on smart cities, and we can jointly work together to make the program targeting women and smart cities to be trained on urban planning, on all the public and government activities relevant to smart cities, and how to embed AI ethics on that. Working jointly with your experts definitely is an opportunity for us. We might also have an exchange for PhD and postdoctoral researchers from your area who are interested to come and be part with our research centers in ICAIRE. We are hosted in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and the digital city. I believe most of you who have been in Riyadh have been in the digital city because this is where most of the smart cities are located. We have SDAIA, we have an office for NEOM, we have Al Giddiya, we have some few other offices for PIF, and of course we have ICAIRE as well established there. So we can have host PhD and postdoctoral researchers into our centers. And finally, we can definitely work on the AI Olympiad to have a dedicated challenge track for smart cities on the AI Olympiad. So all of these are initiatives that I'm sharing with you openly, and whenever you believe that something might be relevant, please make sure to contact me directly through Dr. John Young or anyone to kick off this collaboration together. And finally, I want to make sure that I leave you with an invitation to host you in Saudi Arabia. Every 2 years, we have a big event here in Saudi Arabia relevant to AI. And that's the Global AI Summit. However, this year we have something different on September 14 and 17. And that will be the 4th UNESCO Global Forum on the Ethics of AI 26. This a global event is hosted in Riyadh in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and it will be hosted by the UNESCO in collaboration with ICAIRE and SDAIA. And it will discuss very interesting topics on the ethics of AI, the future of ethics of AI in general, universally by global attendees. We have sent invitations to all member state countries through UNESCO, and we are going to follow up with invitations by SDAIA leadership. And we would like to have a representation from your institutes into this event. The website is already published. It's gfeai.icare.org, and I'll share it in the chat later, and I'll share it with Dr. Jung so he can share it with you. And we would love to see you attending, participating, and being part of this global event. And maybe during your visit, you can have a look at what's happening in Saudi Arabia on smart cities. And maybe with that, I would like to thank you, and I will close the note with something very interesting that I recently was part of 3 months ago in Mecca as part of the best practices for smart cities during the Hajj period. As you know, Saudi Arabia is hosting people from all over the world every year to do Hajj, and including from maybe 195 countries, including South Korea. Muslims from South Korea, they come to Saudi Arabia. And normally the main focus of the government entities in Saudi Arabia, and this is really important case study, is the safety of people doing Hajj. You know, the levels of education for people is different. There are people who speak the language. There are some people who doesn't speak the language of the instructions in Saudi Arabia. There are people who are very educated, well organized, and then there are people who are very old and they are not used to the smart cities activities. One of the indicators for smart cities is many of the activities in Saudi Arabia you can do through your mobile phone. So there are some applications, whether for people in Saudi Arabia or even for people visiting Saudi Arabia for Hajj period, but they can do some services online through Tawakkalna application. So that means you need to have a smartphone, you need to download the application, you need to have internet connectivity, but I don't have numbers, but definitely there is a big portion of people out there do not speak the language and do not have the capability to use the technology. That's one thing. Then there are other challenges when it comes to smart cities tools for the people doing Hajj, and that's one part. Then there is the other part, which is for the government officials, where they are using technologies, AI, to manage the crowd. You have 2 million people from 195 nationalities, and those people are coming from different level of countries. Some of them are coming from poor countries. They are not used to what other countries are doing when it comes to organizing the crowd, using technologies, reading signs, and being in order in certain places. They are not. But they are here to do a very important practice in their religion, and we have to respect that. And we have to educate them, and we have to support them, and also we have to protect them as a government, protect their lives, and make sure they are healthy, they eat the right food, and everything is working perfectly. So the government is using AI to manage the crowd, to receive them on airports, to provide certain services for those guests. and so on. So this is a good example from Saudi Arabia in Mecca that maybe with further research and further discussions, we can highlight more. Then there is the global side of AI and future smart cities, which is the NEOM, representing by the NEOM city. And they definitely are working hard today with the transformation they are having, with the new leadership in charge today, with the changes happening on the region, on smart cities priorities. So all of that would be interested if you come to Saudi Arabia, to Riyadh, that you can be definitely introduced to. With that, I would like to thank you for your time. And going back to our moderator, Dr. Jung Chua.
Thank you, Dr. Majid AlShehry. I think you pointed a very important thing about the governance structure by your center, and also the very interesting about the research program, and there are many possibilities to the cooperation and our joining the programs. Before starting the designated discussion from the Dr. Kwon, I briefly overview of the Saudi Arabia's current state of smart city, briefly, based on the important articles. It is the implications of Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 smart city policy for Korean urban planning. This presentation is based on the Saudi Arabia's 2026 New Urban Agenda implementation report by your government and the UN Habitat. The vision by the Saudi Arabia is for the post-oil national transformation. It is the transition by the digital transformation. Based on the report, Saudi Arabia's national position, Global AI Safety Index #1 and AI Policy Readiness #3, and the UN e-Government Index #6. That means Saudi Arabia is the top position country for the AI readiness, but it needs some kind of AI standard and safety measure before the smart city services. So in terms of digital twin, we as an urban planner are very interested in digital twin in the city operation. Some examples from Saudi Arabian cities such as the Medina, the Manara urban data platform, and for Mecca, real-time Haji crowd management, and the Jeddah urban flood modeling, and in the national level, emergency control system. So this kind of project, and we see that we very famous examples of smart city of Saudi Arabia, NEOM, the Giga project, and it is also the cognitive city model. And we are very well known the cases of NEOM, the line, Oxagon, and Trojana, and Cinderella. All this needs we some kind of guideline on the consideration of the standard or the guardrail for the ethics, AI ethics, and the privacy issues. There's some takeaways from Seoul, including Korea. That means some institutionalization of responsible AI. Also, it is a seminar by the Korea Planning Association. We are the group of Association of Korean Planners, so we are more interested in some kind of cooperation between the two countries, Korea and Saudi Arabia. Our vision for AI is a direction for the sovereign AI. There will be a main chance to not just technology, but also you mentioned about the two gaps, so we can bridging the two gaps by the research or many the ways of collaboration. This is a brief overview.
Thank you for introduction of Dr. Che. Good afternoon. It's really a pleasure to join this discussion today. Again, my name is Yong-Seok Kwon. I research regional policy at the Gyeongbuk Development Institute, and I currently serve as the chair as the Smart City Research Committee at the Korea Planning Association, like Dr. Che. Because of my role leading the Smart City Committee, I listened to today's keynote with special interest. What really impressed me was their strategic sequencing. They didn't just build fancy smart cities right away. They built strong AI rules and national data foundation first. Today's discussion is extremely timely, I think. Right now, Korea is actively working on the host, the UN AI Hub. At the same time, amid the tough competition between the US and China, Korea is focusing on developing its own public and sovereign AI to protect public data and digital sovereignty. This is where global collaboration becomes critical. While broad frameworks like the UN AI Hub set global standards, operational centers like ICAIRE turned those ethical principles into actionable tools for smart cities. By combining public AI technology with ICAIRE's ethical guardrails, local governments can use AI safety without depending entirely on high-tech monopoles. This actually brings me to how Korea and Saudi Arabia can build a strategic partnership. Korea brings rich spatial planning experience and strong public AI capacities. Saudi Arabia's other side brings bold vision, fast execution, and global AI leadership through ICAIRE. If we link Korea's public AI and urban planning expertise with your Saudi's AI leadership under the UN AI Hub initiative, we can build a trusted, neutral smart city model for the world. To wrap up, I'd love to ask Dr. AlShehry two quick questions. First, as mega projects like NEOM move forward, how can we prevent a digital divide between brand new smart cities and older existing cities? Is the first question. The second question is citizen engagement is essential for ethical AI, as you said. How is ICAIRE working to expand real citizen participation in AI governance? And are there good global benchmarks like Helsinki or Barcelona you would recommend? Thank you for your presentation. Thank you. My first question is, as a mega project like Leon in Saudi Arabia move forward, how can it prevent the digital divide between brand new smart cities and older existing cities? And second question was citizen engagement is, as you said, essential for ethical AI. How is ICAIRE working on to expand real citizen participation in AI governance? And do you know any practical practices in the world as you recommend to us?
Thank you very much for highlighting the questions again. Those are long questions, and I believe those are good discussions rather than a question and answer. And maybe with today's webinar, we'll have only the opening and the starting discussion. However, maybe in the future, especially on the second one, we can work together to build something together. So on the digital divide and what cities can provide to make no one behind, we believe it's always starting by open channels between people within the same city and people, residents of different cities together. When it comes to what we have done on ICAIRE, we haven't focused, and as I mentioned in the two circles in my slides, ICAIRE is very generic when it comes to AI ethics implementation. And we are still in the beginning. And when you are in the beginning, you always try to focus on what matters the most and what can be relevant to everyone in general. And that's why we in the UNESCO have launched the principles of AI ethics in general, but those ethics guidelines were converted by certain countries into very specific AI ethic guidelines for these countries. What can be done next is we can convert these AI ethics guidelines into certain sectors, including smart cities. So maybe I assume there will be one point, one day, where there will be a document by the smart cities of Seoul or the smart city of Zurich or the smart city of Neom to have a clear guideline on AI ethics for the employees, for the companies, and for the citizens of that city. That will include the rights of the humans on that city, and also that will include the law that will protect everyone else when it comes to privacy, to data sharing, and to all aspects that will increase the quality of life and also will keep people happy with their personal data and information. Now, when it comes to what we have done as ICAIRE, we have done something that is very interesting. We have done something that's very interesting for networking. Today, we have joined a network with equivalent centers to exchange programs because there are many international centers who are sharing the same vision, but from different angle. And that's the first thing we have started. Also, we have built our own network on certain initiatives, and I'll share it with you frankly, in case if a representation from Korean university is here who might be interested to join this network, they are more than welcome to contact me after the session. We are going to publish a blueprint for a master's degree in AI ethics by September. Today, we are working with 5 universities globally. One of them is Stanford from the US and Berkeley, both from the US. Also, we are working with a university in Saudi Arabia. Also, we have started to communicate with a Singapore university, SMU. And we would like to exchange with more universities. We want to have a network of universities to endorse the blueprint of the master's degree in AI ethics. And that will lead to what these universities can start initiating into their curriculum, into their programs, and kick off these programs for their students and their people. We can do something similar, building a network for a certain goal with smart cities. We can bring the people working on smart cities in Seoul. We can bring the people working on smart cities in Mecca, in Neom, in other places of Saudi Arabia. And also we can, through our network of UNESCO, we can talk to all the member states. We are talking about 193 member states, including Switzerland, including UK, and other countries as well, and find the most important question for the smart cities on AI ethics and work together in something common, like a pledge, like an agreement, like a guideline. We learn from each other on how to implement ethical AI into our smart cities. And we will be very happy as ICAIRE to facilitate that efforts. However, we need this initiative to be supported by smart cities such as yours in Korea. And we will be very happy to achieve that whenever you want to jointly join us.
Is there a new member from maybe the MIT Sensor Lab in Seoul? Susanna Galleas?
I actually had one question. I'm wondering what they are doing related to physical AI. I know that probably right now they are just concentrated in ethics and AI, but probably I would like to know the agenda of Saudi Arabia regarding physical AI. Thank you.
I think that's a very interesting question as well. Thank you, Susanna, for the question. I believe physical AI probably is the future of AI coming very soon. And if I would have a theme for this year on AI, I would give it, and we are almost midway, I would give it to agentic AI. However, if I would give a theme for next year, 27, and that probably will start from January, I would give it to physical AI. I will not speak on behalf of Saudi Arabia, but I believe people in Saudi Arabia understand this very well, and I have seen initiatives. I am the chairman of AI Association in the kingdom. It's a local association, and through that association, we have organized a trip to a big event in China next August. It will be 2 weeks from today. They have a big event on physical AI, big conference. I forgot the name, WC something. It's a world recognized robots event. So that's an example of the interest, and there are many people interested through the AI association, not through their employees or employers, to go and visit and be part of the movement into physical AI. I see a great efforts happening nowadays from companies in China taking the lead into the future of AI into the devices or into the physical AI or into embodied AI. There are different tracks, but they are taking a lead. Also, there is a big movement in the US as well, and many companies are focusing on that. I believe MIT in general, they have very good efforts. Some of the labs as well from Carnegie Mellon, where I graduated, are focusing on that part, into robotics, and they are really good into that. I have seen in the news that there are some countries, including Korea, including Japan, they want to be a major role player into the physical AI world. I have seen, for example, an announcement from a few companies in Japan, including SoftBank, including Honda, and another one specialized in robotics. I forgot its name, Narita or something like that. They are bidding into a new physical AI robotics. I have seen a new initiative by a Chinese company where they are including the emotional AI into the physical AI look and feel. I have seen also physical AI robotics that have some good understanding. So it's getting into not just scientific answers and questions, but also into personal engagements and dialogue with humans. I have seen very good use cases. So this is happening globally. I believe Saudi Arabia will be just part of that movement, not behind. Maybe today, I haven't seen some big companies that you will hear about in Korea. Maybe if you are living in Saudi Arabia, you'll see some good initiatives, startups. They have some basic robots that can do basic jobs. But globally, this is the what I have seen. These are the real companies that are making the big change into the globe. And I believe 27 will be the year to focus on physical AI, not this year, because this is only a beginning, but next year where the competition will be very widely among all the countries. Thank you, Susanna, for your question.
Before closing today's webinar, it's interesting and very appreciate your presentation, but especially this webinar, our president is also joined this webinar because very important because in terms of collaboration between the two countries. So Korea Planning Association consists of more than 10,000 members from academia and government and the research community. So in the era of from smart city to AI city, the Korea is the strength is not in the technology, but in the making some kind of the guideline or the normative directions based on the academic from academia. So I think you suggest some the initiatives and the forums. So it is my suggestion. So if you invite our president or executive leadership to the forum, that will be facilitate the collaboration between the two countries.
On the personal level, not just on the corporate and business language, I have been raised in the Eastern Province in Saudi Arabia. Part of my life, I worked in city of Jubail, where Samsung and many Korean companies, Hyundai, have been part of the establishment of these great cities. So I have been knowing many Korean friends during my life, and I'll be always happy to continue that partnership on the level of my corporates, my organization and institute, ICAIRE, with everyone in institutes. Dr. John, I'll continue contacting you on a personal level to find out whom we should invite from our Korean friends to our event. And also, I would like to take the chance to emphasize that every single initiative I have highlighted today on the slide or I spoke about is something doable. So please just let me know, and Dr. Jang have all of my contacts. Let me know if you are interested as an individual or as an institute or even as a government representative, if you would like to be part of that initiative, and make sure that I'll take it seriously and we'll take it to the next step.
Thank you, Dr. Majid AlShehry. Thank you for your excellent presentation, and I would like to thank you, Dr. Junyoung Choi, for summarization and additional remarks and the discussion points, and as well as Dr. Kwon for the discussion. Thank you for everyone. Thank you.